I'd like to welcome you all to our Thursday 1:30 p.m. session. We have a double feature today from Giovanna and Latonia from DACL, and today they're going to be talking about dementia, technology, and scams. The WildTech DC Senior Digital Inclusion Program, its owners and presenters offer technical assistance, virtual health, well-being information designed for educational purposes only. You should not rely on the information in any apps or topics made by WildTech, including but not limited to mobile and device applications, and use social media pages maintained by WildTech, its owners or presenters as a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, treatment, or legal advice. Thank you so much for letting me read the disclaimer. If you not see us, hear us, let us know. The session will be on YouTube, so hello YouTube. You can review and rewind as much as you like. And once again, let's keep our mics and TVs in mind just so we all can hear each other. Without further ado, Giovanna and Latonia, if you could introduce yourselves and your topic for today, we look forward to it. Thank you so much for coming.
Hello, I'm Giovanna. I'm the Dementia Program Coordinator at DACL.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Lutania Hubbard, Supervisory Social Worker with Adult Protective Services at DACL.
And today we're going to be talking about dementia, technology, and scams because it is Scams Month. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen.
It's also National Reading Month. March 2nd was Dr. Seuss Day, Read Across America Day.
Oh, that's right.
And it's March Madness going on right now.
It is. And my alma mater is in March Madness.
Which one?
Go Howard.
Oh yes, the men's and the women's. We had our sports show on Monday, and people were raving, and as they should. So good luck to them.
Yes. Alrighty, so we're talking about dementia, technology, and scams. So as usual, I have a handy dandy agenda. So we're gonna walk it through. We're gonna do some icebreakers. We're gonna talk about how technology has an impact. So we're gonna go through the importance of it, the different types, the benefits, and the considerations. We're then going to have conversation with APS, and that is where Tanya comes in because she's going to help you all navigate understanding scams, what they are, the common types, as well as signs of exploitation and how to protect yourself and others. As usual, any questions or comments, please feel free to make them throughout the presentation. So, my first icebreaker question is, if you could invent one thing that would make your life easier, what would it be?
A robot that would do my housework.
That is
I
fair.
was thinking the exact same thing.
That is actually fair and a good response.
I would invent a washer and dryer in one.
Oh.
They probably do that, but literally at the same time, like washing and drying, but that may not be possible.
I need a robot that can cook for me. Yes, and I need a robot that would plan the meals and go to the store and buy the meals and come home and cook them.
Okay.
Okay. I will create medicine that will keep us healthy, strong, and young.
Okay.
Yes, because there's no such thing as nothing anti-ages you. So yes, that would be amazing.
That's interesting because the response I got earlier today was something along that lines, but it was also to make sure that all the joints, bones, and ligaments worked properly so there was no arthritis.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So I'll take that. Alrighty. The next icebreaker question. What is one piece of technology you use the most?
The phone.
The phone, yes.
My iPad and my phone.
Your iPad, your phone.
And PC. Yeah. And microwave too.
The microwave.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Okay, so we got a lot of different forms of technology that we use often. What is the most ridiculous or frightening or obvious scam call, email, or text you've received? And was it an offer that was too good to be true, but you considered it for a moment?
Well, that's a long question.
So we can break it down in parts. What is the most ridiculous or frightening or obvious scam call, email, or text you received?
Well, the most ridiculous one that I receive all the time, they calling about my special TV service, which I don't have. And I done got 10 calls from 10 different numbers. And the last one I got was yesterday. I told them they called me again. I'm going to turn them into the U.S. Attorney General's office. And you block their number and they just keep calling you from different numbers.
Yeah, they'll do that.
Okay.
The one I get the most is they are looking for me to start work when I haven't applied for anything.
So they're offering employment.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they say I have a resume and they're looking for me to take a job on, and I never fill out anything.
I got one that I had won $2.3 million from Publishers Clearinghouse.
Oh boy!
Oh, I got that.
I mean,
that's a common one.
I knew better, but I wanted to listen to just see what all they were gonna say to me.
Right.
And at the end of it, even though I knew better, I can see why some people, if they're not really alert, would kind of fall for it.
Right. So that brings me to the second part of the question. Was it an offer that was too good to be true, but you considered it for a moment?
Well, I get these calls from this bank that says my loan application has been approved, and then they'll give a number. They might say 85,000 or 55,000, and I get those.
Okay.
It sounds like y'all were not scammed by these scams. By the way, y'all are sharing.
No.
But Giovanna, I will admit to one thing. And a lot of people say they don't understand. But even though I knew it wasn't true, and I knew that at 4:00 that next day they weren't going to bring that check, it was funny that I kind of looked forward to it. It was so convincing. Obviously, at 4:00, I thought they're really going to ring the doorbell.
Well, they think they're going to get a way around you. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's why I understand why people can be persuaded if they're not very alert, to really think they're being truthful. But I even though I knew better, I still, thought about it the next day at 4:00.
That's why I love all the guests that we've had. I remember we have had the Office of Attorney General with those elderly scams and all those things that they talked about. And I'm so glad that we're aware and that we're sharing. So I'm so happy.
Yeah. So then the last icebreaker question is, what is your go-to way to handle spam calls? Do you ignore them? Do you block them? Do you entertain them for a little bit? Do you yell at them? What do you do?
Ignore.
The first two that she said.
I don't answer.
Above.
Ignore and block.
I got 500 block calls on my phone.
Yeah, I block them. I listen sometimes because I call AARP scam line and try to give them some idea what that they're offering, so they'll be aware of what to put in there when they're trying to advise us about not falling for the scams. And then sometimes I just get angry and I yell at them. I'm sick of you all calling my
Yeah.
Yeah. So I ain't I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I do a little bit of all of it.
Okay, that is fair.
I love that you reported it. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I report it every time they call. I call that hotline they have and report it to them so they'll have some idea, of what type of scam it is, and they think, yeah, I do that.
Well, the way I deal with them when they call and they say something outrageous, and I'll say, "Can you hold on a minute?" And then I'll come back to the phone and I disguise my voice and I say, "Officer Brown, the fraud division," and they hang up.
I like that.
Yeah, what about Miss Marie? You have your hand up. Did you want to share?
Yes, I keep getting calls about bringing my gutters. And I said, and talking about Maryland, I said, I don't live in Maryland and I don't have gutters because I don't even have a house.
See, scams happen all the time.
All the time.
And they try to target seniors. I know y'all, Giovanna, I know y'all gonna talk about that, but they really try to target seniors because they think seniors don't know any better. But obviously that ain't true.
And we're going to
Not
break
with this
that
group
down.
anyway.
Exactly. And we're going to
I was
break
waiting for
that
someone to say that.
down.
One more hand. Mr. Adams, did you want to share something? And then we'll go on.
Every time.
Did
And what about the one
Mr. Adams?
topic talking about selling you cellular, what is it?
Solar panels?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Don't even own.
I'm
not.
The solar panel. Okay, so they're calling to do housework.
You don't even own.
Yeah.
You don't.
Yeah. They want to see
Mm.
your electric bill. I said nobody sees my bill, but who pays it?
Yeah. Okay. Right. Miss Laverne?
Yes. I don't give them chance to even say nothing to me. I answer my phone, hello, who is this and why the heck are you calling?
Okay. Okay, y'all are on it. Y'all are on top of it. Okay. All right. So let's talk about technology. So technology's impact. Why is it important? So when we're navigating dementia care, it's important to understand how technology plays a role, right? Because technology allows the individual who has dementia the opportunity to really still have some level of independence, as well as keep them safe and have an overall quality.
Yeah, I was back there. I thought.
Right? When we're looking at technology, it's also important to note that technology is also going to be really supportive towards the caregiver because it's going to help them reduce any type of stress or burnout. So there are various types of technology that can be utilized when we're looking at dementia care, but it's important to understand that the technology should work for you, not the other way around. So you want to make sure you are selecting devices or programs that are going to be really comfortable for you, as well as comfortable for you to learn how to use it so that it's incorporated in your everyday life and that it meets all of your needs. You also want to make sure you're following up with any type of professional, such as your occupational therapist, your physical therapist, your doctors, for any type of clarification or additional assistance when you're trying to select the appropriate technology and devices for you. So now let's talk about the different types. So the first type, we have safety and location tracking or monitoring. So these are going to be your GPS trackers, your door or motion sensors, your smart lighting, as well as cameras. All of these things are going to assist with overall safety for an individual who has dementia, as well as provide a peace of mind for a caregiver because it's going to help you navigate in the event a person wanders. So if they're wandering, we're using GPS trackers because it's going to help you get real-time location. If you have door and motion sensors, it's going to help notify you if the door is open for them to walk out, right? As well as sometimes it may make a noise, it might be a bell, something that's going to alert the caregiver that the person is trying to leave the home. We're also looking at smart lighting because these are going to be motion censored lights. They're going to help you navigate in the event you have falls. So it's going to help with fall prevention. And then the cameras are also going to monitor movement as well as give you real time location if the person walked out. So it can give you a timestamp. They left out at this time, they walked out the front door, or maybe they went out the side door. Whatever it is, the cameras are going to help you see it. We're looking at health and medication management. This is going to really assist with medication reminders, dosage safety, and overall emergencies. So we're looking at medical alert bracelets. That's going to help you because once you scan the bracelet, it's going to have all of your medical records as well as your medication, diagnosis, and things of that nature. But it's also going to prompt EMS or police or local hospitals in the event something happens. We're looking at fall detection devices. So if you are a fall risk, or if you have a person that you're caring for that's a fall risk, this is going to alert you. Like we've all seen those commercials where the lady is like, I've fallen and I can't get up. That's a fall detection device. Those can also be very helpful. You also want to think about lockable and automatic medication dispensers. So for a person with dementia, trying to take medication every day, all the time can possibly be a little confusing, as well as you may forget. So with these types of devices, it's going to make sure A, you're getting the appropriate dosage, and B, it's going to give you an alarm to remind you to take your medication. And then we also have AI-enabled sensors, which can kind of help you navigate room temperature. If the room is too cold, it's too hot, it's going to be a motion sensor, as well as detect if a person falls. Cognitive and memory aids. This is going to help with overall cognitive functioning, as well as the simulation of memory. So we're looking at various apps that can assist with memory or cognitive functioning, such as Luminosity, things of that nature. You're looking at apps on your iPad. Some of you mentioned you use your iPad all the time. Apps on your iPad like word searches, crossword puzzles, overall puzzles, coloring. All of that helps to keep your brain stimulated. It helps to improve your cognitive functioning. We're looking at interactive games. This can be virtual reality games. This is also going to help with sensory as well as overall stimulation of your memory and cognitive functioning. Then they have digital photo frames as well as large display clocks or calendars. We use the large display calendars for my granddad to help keep track of all of his appointments. And it helps you color code it on certain days and times so he knows where he's supposed to go at all times. And then you have picture phones. That can also help. Emotional and social supports. So this is going to be anything that's going to help reduce isolation and behavior such as agitation. It's also going to improve mood and provide comfort and companionship. So all of us, have you seen the robotic animals such as like the cats or the dogs?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I saw one on
the
Star Trek.
dog. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. If you notice, like the dogs actually have, the cats and dogs have like real life movements, like an actual cat or an actual dog. Those are used to provide comfort and companionship without the actual hassle of having a real live pet. Because you may forget to walk your real live pet or take it outside or feed it. But with the robotic dogs, it gives you that same stimulation without a lot of the work. They have therapeutic dolls. A lot of times individuals with dementia will revert back, and dolls can provide a good sort of comfort for them. And it's also very helpful with keeping them calm. We're looking at sensory tools. So this can be coloring. This can be done on an iPad. It can be done on a phone. That's going to kind of help keep you calm and mellow, as well as virtual, like I mentioned before, virtual and interactive games, because this is going to kind of give you a more personalized experience, whether it's something done with touch or sight, as well as fidget toys to kind of keep the hands active in the event you're feeling anxious. You can also get weighted blankets, which will assist with anxiety because the weight of the blanket is going to feel like a big warm hug, which is going to help regulate your nervous system. Daily living assistance, these tools are going to assist with overall functioning. So it's going to help with overall safety, independence, and comfort. So you're looking at your smart home technologies, which would be any type of voice activated device like Amazon, the Alexa, you got Echo. If you have Siri on your phone, those are going to be helpful. We're also looking at adaptable utensils, which can assist with eating, and overall clothing aids that can assist with getting dressed.
I like those weighted blankets. I've never actually felt one before.
You have weighted blankets. They also have weighted teddy bears, animals, things like that to kind of help. And they have like the little weighted backpacks for like little kids to kind of help regulate your nervous system when we're feeling really anxious and our nerves are all just going haywire.
Oh, thank you for sharing that. I knew they were used for anxiety, but I never really gave it too much of a thought. Again, everyone's is free to share, so this is some great technology. Thank you so much for sharing.
I can speak about the weighted blanket. I have one. My sister got me one for Christmas a few years ago. She was like, after a long day at work, how about you lay down and you use the weighted blanket and see what it's like? And it's very comforting and relaxing, actually. It's not too heavy. It's just right, but it's comforting.
I'm glad you said that because I purchased one years ago, but I've never used it. But now I think I'm going to have to start using it.
Yes.
So where do you get these products?
So you can get weighted blankets off of Amazon, as well as you could probably look them up on the Googles, as I like to call it, and different types can pop up. You can see them in the stores. But it really just depends on your preference, because then you can also get the weighted blankets in different weights to meet your needs.
Okay, thank you.
You are very welcome. So when we're looking at technology, of course, it has a lot of benefits, right? So it's really going to be beneficial for individuals with dementia as well as their caregivers and their families. Because number one, it's improving overall safety. It's helping them to maintain and encourage independence and autonomy. Because at the end of the day, a person with dementia is going to want to keep their independence for as long as possible, as well as any older adult. Any of us, we want to stay independent for as long as we possibly can. So implementing technology can help you do that. It's also going to help to reduce any loneliness as well as reinforce social connection. We are human beings who require social connection at all times. However, social connection looks a little different as you age and as you go through certain illnesses, right? So when you have technology, it can kind of help meet you where you are. Sometimes you may not want to always go out to a wellness center, but guess what? You all come on the Zoom and you meet weekly all the time. Sometimes you may not be able to go to a family function, but guess what? Your family member has a video phone and you can do a video call. So you can still be included, but not have to actually physically be there.
That's so true.
That's why this program came out, so we could FaceTime and we could message and we could do all these things, even if we're forced home or, if anything, we have technology to help us maintain that social connection.
Exactly. And then, like I mentioned before, it's going to reduce caregiver burnout and stress because now you have something to kind of help complement the care that you're already providing. It's giving you at least some sense and peace of mind when you have cameras installed, so you kind of know where your loved one is. You have a GPS tracker, so in the event something happens, you can immediately go to your tracker to see what was their last known location or where they are.
That's so true about the caregivers. Having the peace of mind knowing you have a life alert, in case you're not there. That could give you peace of mind, and like the Find My on Apple devices too. You're talking about the location. It made me think of that. And
exactly.
And some Wi-Fi routers actually have motion detection as well.
And then when you're looking at GPS trackers, it doesn't have to always be something that you wear, right? Because not everybody is going to be able to tolerate a watch. Or when you're using Apple tags or towel trackers for Android, those are things that you got to keep in mind, especially now that we're moving into considerations. Those are things you want to keep in mind, that a AirTag or a towel tracker has to be on that person at all times. So if you put it in something and they don't wear it, you don't have the location.
Right. But they are very useful. They're small and they're very compact. Those air tags, I mean, you can just use them for. I have one in my backpack. That way, I'll never lose my backpack. I have one of my keys. That way, if I lose my keys, I can see where it's at, etc.
Right. And then you also have apps that you can use, like Life 360 provides location, as well as it notifies you if the person's been in an accident, when they left home, when they returned home, like all of the things. You have different types of technology that can be helpful when you're navigating caring for a person with dementia. A lot of my role, I do work with MPD. I collaborate with them for the silver alerts.
Really?
So once a senior has been located, I assist with the follow-up referrals and I provide education, resource navigation, and connection. We go through the different types of technology that can be helpful, as well as help to develop a safety plan for your loved one that is wandering, as well as just go through the resources that are available to them and understanding why wandering happens and what it looks like. With that, we have the conversation all the time about GPS trackers, which comes to my next point about consideration. When we're looking at GPS trackers, a lot of the times the families may be against it because, one, there may be lack of education around the GPS tracker as to what it actually does and how it can be helpful. But there's also a fear around GPS trackers because we're looking at privacy and consent. With the GPS trackers, sometimes some people feel that the tracker is just tracking your every move. It's the government doing it. When in reality, it's your loved one, a person you trust, is locating you and monitoring your location in the event you go wandering, something happens, right? When we're looking at GPS trackers, a lot of times people feel that they can possibly be invasive and take away from a person's autonomy. So that's something you want to keep in mind if you want to utilize a GPS tracker. Another issue is sometimes people feel like for individuals with dementia who can't really consent, you're taking away that level of autonomy for them. Another issue that comes up when we're looking at technology, we want to look at depersonalization. Although technology is great and gives us a lot of benefits, right? And it's very assistive for a lot of things. The main role of technology is to be complementary to whatever care you are providing to the person. It is never designed to replace human care and human interaction. That's the one thing we really want to keep in mind, because a lot of times some people feel like if you overuse technology, it takes away that sense of personalization as well as connection. Another thing to consider is practicality and usability. We want to think about when we're trying to navigate devices and different technology. Are these things user friendly? Is this something everyone can use, or is this just designed for a selected group? How is it designed? Is the design friendly enough that you can really understand how to navigate and work it? Is it sensory appropriate? Like if you have touch issues, but the device that you selected requires you to touch on it and it has a touch screen, is that going to be appropriate for you? You want to look at, is it user friendly? Is the user familiar with the technology that's being utilized? You don't want to get something that you've never used a day in your life and you honestly don't know how to work it, but you have it because somebody told you it was great and it was amazing to have. It might be great for that person, but it might not be great for you. And that's okay. You also want to look at, is this device or is this piece of technology appropriate for the stage of dementia that individual is in? Does it really meet that need? And are they going to be fully capable of utilizing it? And lastly, we want to think about, is this piece of technology or is this device going to really assist the individual, or is it going to harm them? So tips for utilization, we want to remember to consult with professionals. So that's going to look like our occupational therapists, our physical therapists, physicians, social workers, or therapists, just to make sure we're getting the appropriate things. We also want to make sure we're including the individual. We don't just want to buy something or get something for them without really getting their input, because you want to make sure it's meeting their needs and it is appropriate for them. But you also want to make sure it's personalized for them and adjust to their preferences. Because at the end of the day, technology isn't going to just be one size fits all for everybody. We're looking at exposure. You want to make sure you're introducing and utilizing technology early on. So that way it allows the individual the time to get used to, playing with it, using it so it can help them out, as well as the earlier you introduce it, the longer they have to continue to use it. We want to keep it simple. We don't want to use things that's going to be overly complicated, too many instructions, it's got too many parts, because then you're going to get frustrated and you're not going to want to use it. The main role for it is to kind of help simplify some stuff. If it's not simple, what is it simplifying? That's not going to be helpful. And then we want to manage expectations. Like I said, technology is not going to be one size fits all. So just because it worked for Bobby, Susie, and Ricky, that does not mean it's going to work for Mike, Billy, and Joe. And that's okay. And we really want to look at, what is the expectation that you have of getting this piece of equipment? Is it to help me with something, or am I getting it because everybody else has it? Now we're going to come into talking about scams. And Latanya, feel free to step in at any given time.
I certainly will.
Thank you, Giovanna. That was amazing.
You're welcome. So with scams, what is a scam? A scam is going to be any type of fraudulent scheme that's utilized to manipulate and intentionally deceive an individual. so that you can give up your personal information, your money, and your property. When we're looking at financial exploitation, this is going to be the illegal, unauthorized, or improper utilization of an individual's money, their property, or their assets. So when we're looking at financial exploitation, we're looking at coercion or any type of abuse of trust or power so that they can get out of you what they want. And they're most likely going after vulnerable populations.
The OAG told us a story about how someone was exploiting a senior.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, it's so sad.
It happens
it does
all
happen.
the time.
So with Adult Protective Services, just to give everybody a little background, there are 3 supervisors. We meet on a daily basis, Monday through Friday, with an extensive meeting where we review all cases of abuse, neglect, self-neglect, and financial exploitation. A large number of financial exploitations are reviewed every week from mostly banks because they are mandated reporters to Adult Protective Services. So a lot of times we review the financial exploitation and it's intense. We have to make calls to the individuals and sometimes to family support systems regarding the level of exploitation. So a lot of times we may see it where recently we had one where someone in the community walked up to a senior at an ATM and asked to offer assistance. They assisted that individual and took their bank card as well as whatever money they were getting from the ATM. So just be mindful of that. That's one example of something recently. Also with financial exploitation, if your grandchildren have access or a family member have access to your debit card or your checkbook, being mindful to monitor your account. So I just wanted to chime in, and we'll continue to give examples throughout as Giovanna is speaking. But just wanted to bring that up, and thank you for putting the number for Adult Protective Services in the chat. I appreciate it. So
or they can call DACL because DACL will lead them right to adult APS, so that way either for yourself or for someone else.
Definitely.
The story at the that DACL luncheon with, I think you were there. That was quite amazing because it happens. So
it happens a lot, right? Older adults and individuals with dementia are really going to be at risk for scams or financial exploitation because one, you're looking at cognitive impairment and decline. You're looking at possible social isolation. You're looking at emotional vulnerability. So in their mind, you're going to be right there for susceptibility to fear and urgent threats. It's like we're going to manipulate you in order to respond to these things. You're looking at trust. They factor that you're going to be very trusting and willing to talk with them because you're polite and you're going to navigate whatever they tell you, right? They're banking on those things. The main thing, they think you got financial assets that they can get a hold of, and that is what they want. And we're also looking at technology, familiarity, and knowledge. They're anticipating that you're not going to have the appropriate tools to understand what they're trying to get you to do. So common types. We're going to go through some common types, and Latanya is going to kind of jump in with what they really see on a daily basis during RED. So we have tech scams. This is when an individual is going to act like they're a tech support representative, and they're going to offer to help you with a non-existent issue that may be on your computer, your cell phone, whatever device you have, right? By doing this, it's going to allow them access to your device and gain all of your sensitive information. Another scam is a romance scam. So this is when someone is going to pose as a romantic partner or someone that's interested in you romantically, whether it's online dating, social media, whatever, so that they can gain your trust and steal money or assets. A grandparent scam. This is when the individual is going to pose as a child or a grandchild and call you with an urgent need, like, Grandma, I'm stuck at the bus station and I don't have any money. Or Grandpa, I got arrested and you have to come bail me out, right? They'll use AI voices to make it kind of sound like a kid, or they'll try to ask you certain questions so that you can say your grandchild or your child's name. And then they'll use that so that they can manipulate your emotions to get what they want. And oftentimes they may ask for gift cards or wire transfers in order to meet their goal. We're looking at government impersonation scams. So this is when someone is going to call you and they say, I'm from Social Security Administration, I'm from Medicare, I'm from the IRS. And they're going to threaten to either arrest you, prosecute you, or terminate any type of services unless you give them payments that they're requesting. Another common type is financial services scams. So this can look like telephone calls, emails, text messages, or whatever that are coming from your financial institutions. It's going to look like it's coming from your bank when in reality it's not. So this scam, they're going to try to make sure they're getting into your savings or your checking accounts so that everything is compromised. But they may say, oh, I need your password or your information in order to rectify the matter. And then the
even with
last
the
one,
password, I just want to chime in on that. They may even send some type of code because you know now with when you're going into your account, sometimes you have to put in a secondary code. So a lot of times they may send you a code, and once they give you the code, if you input that information, then they're taking over your account.
Exactly. Then you have sweepstakes, lottery, and charity scams. And somebody mentioned it before, that publishing clearinghouse, right? That's this scam where they're going to say they work for a legitimate organization so they can gain your trust. And then they'll say, you know what, you've won this huge amount of money, but in order to get it, you got to pay a fee. So this has actually happened to a family member. Like I said, I've cared for 4 different loved ones with multiple types of dementia. My aunt who had Alzheimer's, she got a phone call that she won the publishing clearinghouse. And she was told that in order to receive her prize, she had to pay some money. My aunt heard someone was in the house. So she called 911 and said she was being taken hostage. Mind you, it was my cousin that was in the house, and my cousin was trying to get her to stop talking to the individuals so that she didn't give up any information or give them access to her accounts. My aunt panicked because she didn't recognize her grandchild and called 911 and said she was being held hostage and that they were preventing her from getting to her money. The police came to my aunt's house because they thought my aunt was actually being held hostage and was barricaded in the home. But that's what happens with these scams. They can sound very realistic when in reality, if you won something, you wouldn't be paying to get it.
Right.
Another common type too is when you think about the postal service. Unfortunately, sometimes we do encounter where we receive reports where someone received a check. And a lot of times they'll send you a small check. It may be $5, $7, it could be 25, but it's actually a counterfeit check. And so we have those encounters where someone will deposit those checks and then the scammers will get access to their account. Or they may call them and pressure them, did you cash the check? Did you deposit the check? Well, what is your banking information? We can help you with that. So being mindful of that too with counterfeit checks being mailed to you.
So signs of exploitation. So when we're looking at exploitation in older adults, as well as individuals with dementia, a lot of times it's going to be dismissed because some people are going to say, oh, it's just old age, or it is the dementia that's happening. When you're looking at it, a lot of times people are also going to dismiss it as well because there's a level of shame and fear that's associated with exploitation. Nobody really wants to say, I got taken advantage of. Nobody really wants to admit that I fell for a scam. So you tend to kind of keep that to yourself and not share it with others. Also, you're looking at that you fell for a scam. You kind of have the feeling that your family members or your friends or your loved ones are going to have the idea that you now no longer know how to manage your affairs. So again, that level of independence, you kind of feel like that's going to be stripped away from you because of the situation that happened. It's also important to note that with older adults, a lot of times you all are less inclined to kind of report these incidents because you don't really know who to report them to or how to make a report, as well as, again, like I said, the shame that comes with it and the fear of losing independence. So signs of exploitation can include unusual or suspicious banking activity. So if we start noticing large withdrawals or sudden additions to our accounts or strange transfers, we should really look at that and see what's happening. As well as if your bank starts to notice Miss Barbara's card at the ATM is used a lot, but Miss Barbara is not present. That's a problem. We're looking at missing items or assets. So if all of a sudden your bank cards or your credit cards go missing, legal documents like your titles or deeds to your house, they're nowhere to be found. Checkbooks or other valuable property. When I used to work in APS, when I first started as a social worker, I'll never forget, I had a call and I went out to investigate. The person had passed away and had been dead for a few years. The granddaughter, because the grandmother was also showing signs of dementia, the granddaughter never reported the death for his Social Security checks. She was still receiving Social Security checks, and she never closed out a checkbook at the bank. So she was still writing checks off of his bank account, and the grandmother was not aware. So it goes back to how Latanya said, if you give certain family members or loved ones access to certain things, certain situations can occur. And I'm not saying every family member is going to do that, right?
Exactly.
But that's something you want to keep in mind. Another sign of exploitation, we're looking at sudden or unexpected changes to your legal documents. So now all of a sudden your wills, we're constantly changing our wills, or we're constantly adding people who we probably never added in the first place, but now all of a sudden they're in our will and they're taking everything. That's interesting. We're looking at property documents. Power of attorney, it's constantly changing. Like all of these documents are having sudden changes. Why? What's the reason? Unpaid bills. You have sufficient income, right? But now all of a sudden we got a lot of unopened mail. We're getting letters of disconnection notices and utilities. Your rent or your mortgage is delinquent. This could be because your caregiver or your trusted person isn't actually paying the bill despite you having money. So what is happening? You're looking at changed behaviors. If all of a sudden now you have increased anxiety or fear around phone calls or visitors, that's an issue. You have missing funds or assets. You're starting to become isolated because your trusted person or your caregiver isn't really allowing you to go out or socialize with others. You now have strange signatures on documents that don't look like your signature. New friends. All of a sudden, you have a new friend or a new companion or a new caregiver that is starting to isolate you from others. And they're starting to take over your finances, and you're not really sure what's happening with your finances, but you know they handle it. And then you have caregiver lifestyle changes. All of a sudden, your caregiver is living way above their means, or they're starting to make demands for more excessive payments that aren't really matching the services that are being provided. These are things you want to look at, as well as undue influence. You're looking at that, and you're thinking your trusted person, your loved one, your friend, your family member really has good intentions with you, but in reality, they're trying to take advantage.
Yes, it's important to check behind those trusted loved ones, friends or caregivers, whomever that may be, that would assist you with your finances, just to make sure that they're properly managing your money. So if you're able to check online, check your banking account frequently. I always encourage people check it daily, because things could happen so quickly. And the quicker that you address it, then maybe the issue can be resolved. And then also making sure that you also go into the bank. It's also, if you're able to, it's important to go into the banking institution too if you have some concern about an account and you don't have access to your online banking. Then go inside, speak with the representative.
So, are these signs of of the scam have already occurring, or it's like occurring now, or is it like both for those
Both.
signs that for the previous slide? So if you
Both.
if you notice those things, well, I think your next slide will mention it, but these are yeah, these are some things to notice. I never really thought about it in a lot of these different ways.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure others in the call feel the same.
So, in order to protect yourself, there are things you can do, right? So, when you're looking at financial safeguards or measures, you want to make sure you're placing spending limit notifications on all of your accounts. So that way you know if something is happening. You want to set alerts for large withdrawals when you're, or even when your card is not present. So if a purchase was made, but the card was not present, you want to know about it. You want to make sure that your POA is listed on all of your accounts, as well as you want to set up automatic payments, cancel any unused or extra credit cards, consolidate any accounts if you can, so then that way it's simpler to navigate. And like Latanya said, we want to regularly check our accounts, our credit card activity, and credit reports. So then that way you can see what's consistently happening with all of your information in your accounts. For technology protection, go ahead, Latanya.
Oh, no. Go ahead.
For technology protection, you want to make sure you have call blocking for potential and unknown numbers as well as spam. You want to make sure you update your privacy settings, and you want to utilize authentication factors. So then that way
Mhm.
it doesn't make it as easy to get into your accounts. You also want to make sure you update all of the devices that you're using so that way the software is current and up to date and is not as susceptible to hacking and other issues. Never share your personal identifiable information with unsolicited callers or emails. And don't click on or download any unknown links or documents that are sent to you via email, text message, whatever.
If it looks too good to be true, then it's probably a scam.
Exactly.
Exactly. For legal
Your
measures.
bank or your credit card or the IRS, they shouldn't call you to ask for the information. If the bank already has the information, why are they asking you for it?
Exactly. They shouldn't be asking you for your password.
And that goes back to PayPal and Zelle too. So if anyone on the call actually uses PayPal or Zelle, being mindful of that because they'll send phishing emails where it will appear to be from PayPal, but there's
Mm-hmm.
something different in the email, or from Zelle,
Yes.
just making sure so that you don't call that number or email them back because that's another way for them to maybe gain access to your device and your account.
Mm-hmm. Literally
Especially,
one misspelled letter. Like we
Yes.
talk about that for email all the time. Look at the email address that you are receiving it from. The name may say whatever, but the email may be misspelled. So that's one way to see that it's not a legitimate email.
Exactly.
exactly. When you're looking at legal measures, you want to make sure you have appropriate legal documentation in place. So really work on your estate planning early. So that way you have someone to help you navigate. You also want to make
Legal counsel for the elderly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
legal counsel for the elderly. You also want to make sure you are shredding all personal identifiable information, right? You don't want to just toss it in the trash because it goes in the trash. Somebody can just go through your trash and take it and assume your identity. Shred it. You also want to make sure you're using locked cabinets or safes for all of your important legal and financial documents. And then for overall support, make sure you have a strong support system so that you have someone that's there to recognize and assist you when there are sudden changes or suspicious activity. And they can kind of help you navigate if you don't know how to navigate the situation for yourself. When we're looking at reporting, you want to make sure you call 911 first, as well as contact your local adult protective services and make a report for financial exploitation. And then you can report any type of fraud to your banking institutions as well as the FTC.
Miss Carolyn, you have something to share? Thank you for raising your hand. You can unmute yourself.
Yes. When it comes to shredding, someone told me in our building that instead of shredding, you can put your information in a trash bag, fill it up with water, let the water absorb it, and if you have to, put a diaper in there, and they won't have to go in there. Mm. So for those that don't have a shredder, that's the next best thing.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting.
Yeah. Or it doesn't feel like using scissors to cut it all and things up.
And then they also have like
I do that.
You do what?
I do exactly what the lady just said.
Oh, all right.
Okay. I've been doing that for years.
Wow, I like that one.
And with shredding, a lot of times there's community shredding events that may be in local churches or centers. A lot of times it happens around this time because it's tax time, so people, get rid of documents. So, if you're able to get out or send it by a loved one to have those things shredded, because if I'm not mistaken, that is free. There's other places that you can go where they may weigh it, but take advantage of those opportunities in the community where they have those shredding days.
Right. And then they also have tools where you can use it to kind of go across your personal identifiable information, where it kind of blacks it out or blocks it out, so you can't really.
It doesn't always do it, because I've bought several of them, and I've even ordered more ink.
So yeah, you have several options to protect yourself.
You take it outside and put it in the trash can. Get a little tin can. You know how you get the popcorn in a can, or some kind of tin can, something, and just put it on, set it on fire.
Well, everybody can't do that one.
Because you do a grill when you light a grill, or throw it in the grill. Yeah.
What about if you use a
set it on fire? Sure.
What about if you use a gel pen to block it out?
A gel pen?
Yeah.
Is it going to really seep through to block it? Because the main thing is you want to make sure you are blocking the information. Like, they shouldn't be able to see it at all.
Right. Not even through the back when you think about it.
But that's what I'm saying. They tell you to use a gel pen when you write a check out.
Oh yeah. So that way it can't be like copied or something. I'm not, but I've heard of that.
So what if you took the gel pen,
right,
and put it over top of your address, your information that they can read? Will they be able to see through that?
I'm not sure, but just make sure to turn it over to see if you can see what's on the back.
Okay.
Yeah, I heard about that gel pen also, Doris.
I've used it before.
For writing checks.
Yeah.
And as you mentioned checks, it reminds me of just being another reason why to monitor your account and being aware, because with check scams, a lot of times they wash the check. So it may be a check that you write, you place in mail, someone steals the check, your information is still there, the amount is still there, but they rewrite the check to themselves or to someone else. So another reason why to monitor your account and make sure when your balances, if something seems off or if it's taking a long time for a check to get to the location that you need it to, you may need to do a stop payment.
Okay.
That's good.
Thank you. I appreciate that information.
Yes, that's good.
My granddaughter told me too something. I think she said the sanitizer, you spray it on there and wipe it across, your hand across or whatever, and it disappear.
What disappear?
Whatever you spraying on your information or whatever you want to get rid of. You just spray the sanitizer on it and then take it away. She done it before.
It's so important to shred our documents. Yeah.
She got it off. She seen it on TikTok. She tried it. It works. Like, you get boxes in from Amazon and them place. You might want to take the information off. She would just spray it. And then take it, wipe it out. There's always ways of doing something.
Yes, please stay at this slide. Would you like to share what this slide is?
Yeah. So for more information, you can always contact the Adult Protective Services hotline at 202-541-3950. If you suspect any type of financial exploitation, neglect, self-neglect, abuse, you can give them a call. Or if you just have general questions around what may constitute a report for Adult Protective Services. You can also contact DACL's information and referral line for additional services and referrals and assistance, such as legal counsel for the elderly, case management, things like that. You can contact us at 202-724-5626. And I will leave this up for a little bit in the event anyone wants to copy the information.
Thank you
Also,
again.
keep in mind with reports that come to Adult Protective Services, all of our financial exploitation referrals are submitted to the Office of Attorney General. And Alex, I know you did mention that they did meet with the group before. So just know that they also review our referrals. So every report goes to them. So if there's anything that's egregious, where it may be something that's going on within the district where they see multiple reports, they're definitely going to further examine that to make sure that additional seniors are not compromised with that. Another thing that I want to reflect on from earlier in the slides about the various types of scams, just remember home construction or home improvement. Scammers, they are out there where they may promise that they can do something for a certain amount, or if you have to pay up front and you write them a check, or just however way you may pay them, they may not show up. So being mindful, make sure it's a reputable company. Make sure you do research before you agree to anything with anyone.
Yes. Call DACL. Use the resources. We've had Iona on, and you can give them a call, or can give you guys a call, give legal counsel a call. Right, there's so many resources. I love it.
What I don't understand is when you get these different calls and stuff saying they spam or however, why do the government allow these numbers to come through? Because if I get the number and it's saying spam, how do they know to tell me that's a spam? So evidently the phone companies and the government, they know this stuff going on and they see it's a spam, then don't let it come through the system.
It's so many ways with technology now with people that's not even, the spam call could have a local number and they could be in another country.
They come through local numbers. I have gotten them.
But then you also have some ways on your phone where it's like it'll immediately not answer the spam call. It'll identify it as potential spam and it won't let the call go through.
Yeah, mine do that sometimes too.
Yeah, I got a block thing on my phone where I block them out.
Mine and block, it just come up and say spam.
Scammers are very
it probably will
creative.
say scam likely for the if you're on if you have an iPhone, it'll probably say scam likely. That's sometimes just because the number you may not received a call from that number before. And then yes, the cell phone companies each one have their own, different protective measures. So they're really good. The phone companies, I have T-Mobile, for example, they're very good on that scam shield and just being very protective. So I would check out whatever phone company you have, see what safety or security measures they have.
And then you also want to think about it too. If a person's calling where you may not recognize the number, if they're calling for a legitimate reason, they'll leave you a message.
Right.
But scammers also leave you a voicemail too, so then you can actually listen to it to kind of see, is this something that's legitimate or is this scam? Especially sometimes the voicemails sound a little off or a little distorted or a little weird. So then you kind of have an inkling like, something's not right with this.
Exactly.
Yeah, because
if you don't recognize it, then you got to be on your toes.
I got a call yesterday, and the man was wanted to offer me a cash settlement to buy my house. So I asked him, "Do you see a sale sign in my yard?" He said,
I'm with you
"No."
on that one.
So I said,
I know
"You
that's
don't
right,
see
Miss
a
Dawn.
sale sign, don't call me." So then I asked him, I said, where did you get my number from? He said, from the county. I said, we don't have a county in Washington, D.C. And he hung up on me.
All right.
Go ahead, Dawn.
I got one who tell me they
I need to hire you, Dawn.
If you all have any questions, please raise your hand. I see we have one hand. If you enter the questions or comments for today, please raise your hand. Giovanna, Latoya, have you all seen an increase, the same, or a decrease in calls since last year to APS?
Increase. It's steadily increasing. The good thing is a lot of people are receiving information on how to prevent from even their banking institutions, maybe, church groups, things of that nature. So since everybody's talking about it, we need to keep talking about it so people can prevent it as best as possible. But yes, it is increasing because the scammers are getting more creative.
But you guys are clearly getting more of the community involved and aware of
Yes.
APS.
Mm-hmm.
So is it
Yes.
that is that happening as well?
Oh, most definitely. Yes. Yes. Our clinical services officer often go out and do trainings in the community as well as
Hmm.
our supervisory team. We actually have a few things on the calendar coming up now. And when we speak about DACL, we also include everything about APS, neglect, financial exploitation, and abuse. So, and there's a big discussion on financial exploitation.
Oh yes. Meeting Giovanna at the dining site was amazing. There's so much great programming. So make sure y'all take advantage of DACL's offerings. Thank you again for sharing because yes, more people are calling. So please call and if you need assistance, make that call. That goes to for everyone on the call. Like, you could anyone can be scammed. So
Mm-hmm.
it's good to
Any
know
age. Yeah.
anyone can be scammed. You, me, everyone on the call, your friends, anyone. So it's good to share this information for those that may not have the pleasure of joining our sessions where we talk about these these
And
things.
Alex, it could happen easily because you're in a rush.
Uh-huh.
So something, and you could just be moving, and all of a sudden, I mean, we've gotten calls where they're like, "I know I was scammed. I didn't think about it until I was in the middle of it, and I had provided my personal information, and then it was too late to take it back." So that could easily happen. You're doing things. It doesn't mean that you're forgetful or confused or can't even
Mhm.
manage your finances. It's just I was moving too fast, and all of a sudden, I was scammed.
Mm.
I have a
Thank you.
question,
Yes,
Alex.
yes, yes. We got Yvonne and then Miss Dina. Thank you.
Yeah, well, Alex, I was going to say to the ladies, I'm surprised that Publishers Clearinghouse is still in existence. I used to get mailings from them all the time, but I haven't gotten any lately. So they can comment on that. But I also wanted to say that do you coordinate with the DC Department of Insurance, Securities, and Banking? Because I have a brochure provided by them that lists lots of information, particularly for homeowners and renters, and having to do with estate planning and just lots and lots of information. So I just wondered if you guys coordinate anti-fraud and anti-scam activities with the Department of Securities, Insurance, and Banking.
So thank you for sharing that. Actually, with Adult Protective Services, we have the cases are distributed amongst all of the social workers that's on the team, but we also have two individuals on our team that focus more on the financial exploitation. And yes, they connect with all resources within the district. So I'm pretty sure they are on their list.
Thank you, Yvonne.
Yeah, because I wanted
Yes,
to have my Civic League have them make a presentation because a lot of my neighbors are homeowners and they address things such as reverse mortgages and other things that homeowners and renters have to deal with, especially estate planning. And but those gel pens, I was told to use a gel pen when writing a check because I had occasion to write a check, and since then I've been very reluctant to write checks, and I get money orders instead because the amount on the check was changed to represent another payee, and it changed the amount. I didn't even recognize the name of the person who signed the check. It was completely foreign. So I've become very apprehensive about check writing. So when it says you can send a check or money order, I usually get a money order. And I used to think checks were so, although they become kind of old fashioned, I thought they were safer than a lot of credit and debit cards. So the gel pen is supposed to be such that it cannot be modified.
It won't be it's less easily washed because the gel ink goes through the paper fibers.
Absolutely. And I put in the chat a question about QR codes. And do you have any comments about QR codes and the safety with respect to them? Now everything, if you get an invitation, they want you to respond with a QR code, and I'm just not there yet.
Right, right. So we haven't received a lot of referrals related to QR code. I can only recall maybe a couple, but just make sure it comes from a legitimate source. And you are right about that. I just read about a scam today with tickets in Virginia where they have a QR code where you have to pay. And so it's one of those, we'll suspend your license, things of that nature, we'll arrest you. So yes, being mindful of the QR codes, that is the new thing for everything. Birthday parties, weddings, any type of event, you scan the QR code. So make sure that it's a legitimate and reputable source, whomever is sending it to you. If not, then don't.
Absolutely. I've not used one yet, Alex. I've been just skeptical about, taking a picture and
Well, I
clicking
want, I
on
want,
it.
I want to be skeptical of. I mean, it's been a while, but we have talked about them in the past. But it just like Latanya said, just if they're from legitimate sources, they're very useful. I love being able to go at a restaurant and look at the menu, and then be able to use the QR code to scan it, and then pull up the menu, how to pay. So it just, those are things you may not use every day, but just, make sure it's from a legitimate source. But just knowing what they are and how to use them is very helpful
Yeah, but they
in
flash up
determining.
on your TV screen. I'm not talking about a restaurant though.
That happens too. TV screen. I see QR codes like the news. If you scan it, it'll take you to the website. So yes, just
Yes, I
using
understand.
your discernment is so important.
You have to discern. Absolutely. We have to be, current with our technology use. So I don't
Exactly.
want to, you know, be stuck in, the past, but I'm getting there.
And you are. Thank you for sharing, Yvonne. We really appreciate it. We got
Okay.
Ms. Dina. Another question, comment, any others, please raise your hand. Thank you all again for attending today.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Hi.
I'd like to know, is suicidal thoughts an onset of dementia?
You said suicidal thoughts?
Yes.
You talking about in terms of like a cause?
Yes, like having suicidal thoughts. Is that an onset of dementia? Is that a beginning stage of it?
Not necessarily. It can be a symptom of depression.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. But I would say if somebody is experiencing those, to reach out to their medical professional or their mental health professional.
Or DACL, or make that call.
Mm-hmm.
Right, make that call. We got Denise. Thank you. We have a question or comment for our lovely duo today.
No, I just want to say something funny. I know when I went some money, when Public Clearinghouse come to my door with all them balloons and that big cardboard check and the patrol car outside, and they say I won, then I know that's not no scam. I won. But I don't know if McMahon gonna come with him because I think I don't know if he's still alive, but that's when I know it's real.
Yes, because PCH is a real legitimate company, but like I shared in the chat, it's very heavily impersonated by scammers.
It sure is.
You never have to pay. If they say you have to pay, then it's a scam. If they let you know in person or by secured mail, never by a call. So if you get a call from PCH, it's not legit.
Yeah, but just wait for him come to the door with them balloons and that big cardboard check. and the patrol car outside. And it's good.
If you didn't sign up for something and you get something about it, then you should again use your discernment, right?
Yeah.
Yes. And
I
thank you.
just want to make y'all laugh.
Oh, you thank you for sharing that. The 988, Latonya. That's so important. That's so important. So thank you
Yeah.
for sharing that as well.
Thank you for letting me share that.
Oh, thank you for making us laugh, Denise.
Yeah, we need to laugh sometime.
Good luck with winning.
Oh yeah, I'm still waiting. I've been waiting for years.
Wait.
Waiting for that knock at the door.
Well, thank you once again, Giovanna and Latanya. You all did amazing, and you made me think about scams in just a different way, and I'm feel just a bit more informed, which is amazing on some things to look out for myself and for others. And would you all mind sharing the importance of giving APS a call? I remember the number of calls that were shared that you received or took in 1 year, and can you speak on that, please?
So yes, with Adult Protective Services, the number of calls that we received over the past year, yes, actually, I've been with Adult Protective Services for 4 years, and it's steadily increased. It's one of our highest ones with referrals. But a lot of times, like when we discuss it, we do what's called screen in or screen out, which means that it would be an open investigation where an investigator would go out, which is a licensed social worker, to further assess and investigate. And then after that, if there is a need to continue, then we have a continuing services unit. That's the unit that I'm the supervisor of, where they will continue the investigation as well as determine if there is a need, if there is a capacity issue, then at that point, that individual will be assessed by a licensed psychologist. And then we may petition for court intervention where they would receive a guardian or a conservator. And the conservator, well, both will manage the money aspect, but the conservator, sometimes that's just needed because there's not a safe individual within the family or community that can support that person. But the numbers will continue to go up because, again, like I mentioned earlier, the scammers are creative. So just being mindful of that. If you feel embarrassed or, kind of scared to report it, please don't. It's definitely important so that we can stop the scams as much as possible. You don't want to lose what you worked your life for. You don't want to lose what's in your account. You don't want to lose any money or any of your assets, your property. It's just so important because financial exploitation happen in so many different ways. It's not just with bank cards, checks. It is with your home. It's with your property. It does happen. And sometimes it is our loved ones that do that. It's unfortunate, but it does happen. It's not just the scammers. So to continue to report, please call Adult Protective Services. You can also call the DACL number, whichever one, to make sure that you can report it to us, and then we'll further investigate. Again, remember that it does go to the Office of Attorney General, so they also look at those referrals.
So if one of yes, we have Ms. Dolores and then Ms. Doris, and then we'll end for today. So you recommend if someone tries to call me and scam me, but I knew better, I should call APS to report it?
So what you could also do is call the Federal Trade Commission. So you could call the Federal Trade Commission to report that. With calling Adult Protective Services, say for instance, if you were scammed or maybe likely scammed, yes, still call us. We do have our hotline team that will take the call, and you could just note, hey, I was in the presentation with Wild Tech. I spoke to Lutania and Giovanna, so I just want to share this information because it's definitely important for our team to know and be aware.
Oh, that's amazing.
And with the Federal Trade Commission, you can actually go online to their website. Make sure it's the correct website. We have to be mindful when we're going on the computer and researching, make sure it's the right one. But they do have an 800 number, and I'll put that in the chat, unless, Alex, you're looking at it right now. But to report fraud, there you go. That's the website. And then for the number is 877 FTC HELP. And then that's 1-877-382-4357. So you can also report businesses that way as well.
Thank you, Latanya. Ms. Dolores, you have a question or quick comment for us before we end, and then Ms. Doris?
Yes. Oh, okay. Yes, I want to know a little bit more about the dementia behavior. And the reason why I'm asking, because right now my sister who's 85 years old, they say she has dementia. And I wonder, does that play a part as far as her being like, seems like she be depressed, don't want to talk, don't want to eat, don't want to do anything. Are those some of the symptoms, and if so, what can be done in reference to that to help her, to motivate her to get her spirit back?
Right. So depression can be a symptom of dementia. If it is really bad, I would say follow up with her medical provider to see if it's something that requires medication, as well as you can utilize therapy to navigate those feelings. But you also want to make sure you understand what type of dementia your sister has, so then that way you can really explore what would be appropriate interventions to assist her.
Oh, they have different types of dementia?
It's over 100 different types.
In the chat, I'm going to share all of Giovanna's sessions that she's shared with us in the past. One of them talked about the 5 different types and subtypes, and it was quite engaging.
Oh, okay.
Yep, it's over.
Thank you for sharing.
Types. And during that session, I went through like the 5 most common ones, but I would really get a better understanding of what is the type of dementia she has. So then that way you all really know how to navigate it so that you can best assist her. And then you also have to factor in too, when you're looking at dementia, there is a level of grief that comes through with having that diagnosis, because now you're looking at loss of independence, loss of self, and loss of ability.
Thanks for sharing. So that's same with what she's going through now. You know, like almost like she's sad to say giving up. But
Yes.
anyway, I keep doing what I can do. I write poems. You know, to her, I sing to her a favorite song, and this little light of mine, I'll do that with her, and you know, and just trying to keep her energized, but she just be quiet, don't say anything. So,
and then you also got to look at what stage of dementia she's also into, because then that can also be playing a factor. Because when you're looking at dementia, it does diminish your ability to communicate. As well as depending on what type of dementia it is, it could impact overall language. So it's like just really going back and getting more information so you know exactly what you're working with, and then going from there.
So it don't get better, huh?
Nope,
No,
there is no cure.
No.
There is no cure.
It
There's
gets
nothing
worse.
to stop it. It is a progressive disorder where it is going to progressively change over time.
Y'all were on point with that.
Oh yeah, some of us have dealt with it.
Yeah, I've dealt with it.
Yes, we the first session Giovanna did understanding dementia, so all the links are in the chat on our YouTube channel. The second one is navigating the holidays and grief and self-care. The third one Giovanna did was effective communication strategies with folks with dementia. So you like singing and supporting her. That's so amazing, Dolores. And then last month we did those discussions where we just had a fun discussion of sharing our experiences, and Giovanna gave her thoughts and wonderful advice to each of you all. So please check out those videos. They're very fun. I think this is one of our favorite sessions of the month.
It sure is sad, though, to be honest with you. I've never experienced this before, but it is sad.
Yeah. But she's lucky to have you, Dolores. So thank you.
No, she's blessed to have her.
Yes.
Yeah. I just wanted to see that last slide so I can screenshot it with
the 2 numbers,
number.
Ms. Doris.
Yes,
they're in the chat.
With my contact information, Ms.
Yeah, it had all 3 of y'all with the phone number, your email, the last page that you did.
Okay, I'll put it in the chat.
Thank you.
You are welcome.
Yes. Again, APS, DACL, those three numbers. Thank you for putting that information together, you two. Any thoughts on the session? Were you surprised? Were those, especially with those experiences, have you heard those before? Are seniors on point? What do you all think? Miss Giovanna.
It was very good because I learned a lot.
I have a cousin that went to the bank and drew $50,000 out of her mother's account.
What?
Oh, yes. And all she wants is the money. But the bank wrote her a check, but her sister, who has power of attorney, the bank didn't call her, but when she went to pay a bill, her sister had taken over the account. but she never got that particular check because the bank told her she had to come in and sign the check. So family members are doing this because they're all about money.
Yeah.
You have to use that discernment and check your accounts every single day.
Well, when you're 90 years old, it's not that relevant to them until they go wondering why their account is $50,000 short.
Wow.
Yes. Please share everything we learned today with others.
And that's your child. That's the bad part about it.
But it happens a lot.
Yes, it does.
It happens a lot. Because like I said, when I mentioned before, you're looking at that undue influence. And then you're also looking at the fact that you're trusting. I'm trusting you to have the best intentions for me. When in reality, that might not really be what you're doing.
Yes. And unfortunately, when you trust that particular individual, if you've given them access, the likelihood of you getting your money back from the bank is slim to none.
Right.
Because you gave them access.
That's terrible.
When they take all this money, they not really doing anything with it. Go buy a car, go buy some clothes, go to restaurants, go, something petty that they don't have to have that. But they want that money because they want be able they don't have to pay for it. So they'll take it from your loved ones or whoever they get it from. Because they don't do nothing really with it, just take it out and use it for this, their other uses and that's it. It doesn't make sense. But that's what's going on now, especially with these people habits. They really out here getting money because they need that, take care of their situations.
Yes. Thank you so much all for sharing. Any last comments from Giovanna or Latonya? Any thoughts on our seniors? What do you all think? Are we prepared to handle any scams that come our way? What do you all think?
First, thank you for having definitely me. I know you have Giovanna, but thank you for also having me. And yes, I mean, from the beginning of the presentation, everybody chimed in. So it sounds like this group is well equipped to identify a scam. So just continue to do that. Encourage your loved ones, your friends, your neighbors, just to make sure that they report. Because I highlight all of the cases that come to Adult Protective Services or referrals that come to Adult Protective Services are sent to the Office of Attorney General because sometimes these are criminal matters and there will be criminal cases. So it does happen. And some people, they are incarcerated because of what they've done to a senior or any individual when it comes to financial exploitation. So, but thank you so much. Just make sure, call, report. If you see something, say something. Sometimes you may need to call for someone else, and that's fine. And we appreciate that. We want to keep everyone safe, again, from losing any of their money, their property, their assets. We do not want to see that happen after you've worked years for what you have.
I will also say for future presentations, please let Alex know if it is something in particular that you want me to cover when we're discussing dementia. Like I know Alex wanted technology, so that is why you all got technology this month. So if it is something that is of interest to you around the topic of dementia, please let Alex know and I will do my best to create that presentation for you.
Oh, today's was wonderful, Giovanna. I love that it was so colorful and engaging, and you had the information laid out so simply but very constructive. And I like again all the questions and how you went about it because it can be hard because you may be talking about someone with dementia or the caregiver caring for someone with dementia. So there are many ways to go about it. So I like all the avenues that you all both took. And it was amazing. And everyone, please share this information with others, but review this video on YouTube. So that way you all can, again, further learn more. So let's thank Giovanna and Latonya so much. And we will see you guys again next month for April.
Yes, we do.
Happy spring, you two. And
Thank
thanks for
you.
joining
Happy
us.
spring. Yes.
Thank you. Thanks for the presentation.
Thank
Very
you.
informative.
Thank you, Giovanna.
Thank you. It's
Thank
very
you
much.
Thank you very much.
Very good.
Thank you,
Enjoyed
Giovanni.
everything.
Great
Thank you.
session
Thank you. Thank you.
today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Alice.